This will not be my typical theory video. Instead, I want to get some nagging questions off of my mind that hopefully the upcoming episode 5 will answer. I suppose, in a sense, some of these questions are about theories I have myself and not so much questions that everyone else might think are relevant. As usual, there will be spoilers from episodes 1 to 4. Okay, well, here they are in no particular order. Let me start with the most urgent question I have. What is this? Why do these two match? Why do the receipt numbers match if the receipt is dated days after the tornado is set to hit? If it's just an estimate for work that was set to be done on October 17th, then why is it signed and dated on October 17th? This seems like a deliberate detail, or it's an oversight. Nonetheless, I'm very curious as to what this could mean. What the heck is up with the Prescotts? Are they even involved at all? Are they part of some cult? Are they just evil opportunists?
I think Sean Prescott wants to drive all of us out of town. Or into Pan Estates.
I met him once at a Bigfoot's game. Mean fucking bastard. Oh man, he explains Nathan.
Has Max been stuck in a loop or stuck in time? She mentions this many times, her fear of not wanting to get stuck in time, and there is a theory that the homeless woman behind the diner is Max. I think this mostly stems from the cereal that the homeless woman has sitting by her, which Max happens to mention is her favorite cereal that she still eats. The homeless woman is also fairly wise and hints at knowing about certain things that Max has yet to discover. Other than this, and some very slight resemblance, I don't see much else here that could link the two, as of now. There's also the fact that we start playing Max towards the end of the game, with the storm already having begun, before snapping back into the first day in Mr. Jefferson's classroom. There's also all the foreshadowy graffiti, and lastly, one could suggest that Max's constant head pains from rewinding, as well as the occasional nosebleeds, or maybe even the drugging, may have led to her losing parts of her memory. But that is all speculative and not really proof towards the theory.
We still have to be careful how I use my power. I don't want to get stuck in time.
Why does Victoria seemingly hate Rachel? If she doesn't, then what's this? And this? Why does Kate seem a little off, or sad even, before she was drugged? Why on earth do we keep being confronted with the choice of saving or not saving Alyssa from these seemingly minuscule situations? I've made a theory video regarding this. Is it possible that there are some things Max cannot change, as the universe will find a way over and over again to correct it? We see Chloe, for example, die again and again. Each time Max tries to alter time, things don't necessarily become better. Even going as far back as the day of William's death and saving him still eventually leads to some form of misery in Chloe's life and eventually death. Now, I don't think this theory would necessarily mean something worse is building up for Alyssa. Rather, I think a similar fate awaits her regardless of what Max does, and perhaps this is a small way of trying to help Max learn and accept that some things are still out of her control, even when she has the power of time in her hands. Will we get to see further than Friday's resolution? I mean, will we get to see Max and Warren go ape? Will we see anything beyond Friday that includes the other characters in the game?
Yes, that's exactly what I need. I love those old school ape films.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Cool, I'll text you the info.
Who is Megan Weaver? Why is Chloe close to a person who ends up missing in both realities? Wait, is Megan Weaver missing? Or was she just a terrible friend and stopped visiting Chloe after her accident? And why is her name on a folder in the darkroom? Why does saving William lead to Chloe ultimately dying? Is that even the case? Was there really no way Max could have changed things in the past more so that Chloe doesn't get into the car accident? Why would William not dying in a car accident lead to Chloe slowly dying after a car accident instead? Does it really have to be some sort of trade-off? What's with the prophetic foreshadowy graffiti? Who is writing all this, and why? Why is the cart with a hammer underneath it here in the girls' bathroom at this particular time? This is a very large coincidence that Max's entire storyline depended on. What if it's possible it was placed there by someone who could predict that Max would need it? If it was, then by who? Is it Samuel? What's up with the dying animals? Why those animals in particular? Is it a migratory thing? Can they not leave? Are they getting sick? Why are the squirrels and some other animals okay? What's up with Samuel? What is he? How is he involved? How much does he know? Has he been helping Max? Is he for helping, or does he want to remain neutral? Why does Nathan keep going to this forest location? Is this how he gets to Penn Estates, or is he going to the lighthouse? If it's either of these, why is he going there? What's there? And why does Nathan visit the forest 3 times during those 8 days? He seems to be the only one to do so. Either there is something there that we have yet to see, or possibly he takes a path from the forest to the lighthouse, and if so, is someone at the lighthouse that David isn't aware of? He stays there anywhere from an hour up to 3 on different occasions as well. I mean, there's no connection between the forest and drug deals either, so we literally have no purpose to give to this as far as what we're given to compare it to. There's a possibility of Penn Estates being located here. There's a flyer saying Penn Estates has forest, ocean, and lighthouse views, and also states, Prescott Development invites you to live within the woods. Also, if you read the paper sitting on Chloe's bed in episode 4, right after Max gets back from the alternate reality, it discusses Penn Estates. It points out that Penn Estates are being built in deep forests near Blackwell, and points out that Native American groups have filed various motions against its development, citing widespread destruction of tribal lands and natural resources. Is there going to be more to Max's powers? Will she pull out another ability in episode 5 that will help her further? What's up with the cans? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. They're basically human-made rock piles or stacks of stone. What do they mark? Someone sets up a new one in episode 4 by the Tobanga where the birds are buried. So, is it a grave marker? If so, is something buried at the lighthouse? Who set it up? Is it Samuel?
Okay, where did these rocks come from? This is too Blair Witch for me.
What's up with the Tobanga, and why did Nathan try to steal it? Is there more to Chloe than we are seeing? Is she not telling Max the whole truth about certain things?
No wonder I'm so miserable. Everybody in this town knows everybody's secrets.
Even yours?
Not anymore.
How on earth do the darkroom victims get picked? Is innocence even a factor? If so, what is innocence in the definition? Is it being young? If not, how exactly are Rachel, Kate, and Victoria even lumped together other than being school-aged girls who are into art? Are there even connections between the other victims other than being young girls? Why girls? Is that just what gets these creepers off? Is it even a creepy thing, or is there some purpose we aren't aware of yet that will explain everything? Are the supernatural elements in the game metaphorical? Please reassure me the whole game is not a metaphor, dream, or vision. What's with the mandatory pictures, the ones that are taken not as a choice but part of the story? Will we use these? Will the last episode consist of using Max's photo time jumping abilities to go to different points in time to fix certain choices? Why did one of the moons fade out when Chloe and Max head to the junkyard at the end of episode 4? And what do the double moons mean? Is there a consequence in the alternate reality for Max if she helps Chloe die? Was Rachel aware of Chloe's feelings for her? Do we know for sure that Chloe's feelings were more than the love of best friendship?
Like you did? I loved her, asshole! And she loved me. I know that.
Chloe, you don't know shit. You were part of her problem.
Will Max save herself, or will she be saved? If she's going to be saved, then by who? Will Nathan get a chance to redeem himself, or will things end up badly for him? More importantly, has he done something to deserve having to suffer some consequences? Will Frank even play a big role in the last episode, considering you get the choice to kill him off in episode 4? What do the darkroom pictures achieve? Is Stella involved? If so, why and how involved? I have made a theory video about this, but most people assume her being involved would mean she's in on the whole thing. But being involved could mean you do one thing for someone without knowing all the information, or you know everything and are involved in all aspects, or even somewhere in between that spectrum. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing deal, and it also doesn't have to mean that Stella is a terrible person. I mean, listen, she's still a kid and they make mistakes, and sometimes even can be led into doing things by people they trust or respect. Also, as far as linking her to the plot being because of her taking drugs, it's not her drug use that would make me question her involvement. Rather, it's her familiarity with a drug dealer and the access she has to drugs. However, that could be my perception. When I was a teenager, I did not have easy access to drugs, and I did not know drug dealers. I could also say the same for the majority of the people I knew, but I suppose Blackwell and Arcadia Bay seem to be abundant in drug users, and drug user or not, most people seem familiar with Frank and his profession. My bottom line with this theory and this question is, if we're given this information, then it's for a reason, whether it's to throw us off or to give us an insight or a hint towards future plot. What was the handicapped fund for? I mean, the money is there, but in the alternate reality, we find out that Blackwell doesn't utilize it for making the school more accessible to people with disabilities. So, what was it for? Why is Principal Wells arguing here with Mr. Jefferson? Why did Nathan drug Chloe? Was he trying to prove a point, or is this a frequent thing that he does, or is it a one-off? Why do we spend time rewinding to make people like us? Is there a purpose for this other than to make us think about our own actions? Will we need these people to like us for some reason? Is there a repercussion for Max abusing her powers by running around manipulating people into liking her? Can Max abuse her powers? What's up with the Vortex Club, and what role do they play? Is this what the Prescotts or Mr. Jefferson or whoever uses to nab the girls they want for the darkroom? What's with the storm bunker? Why spend $1.3 million on it just to set it up for some weird secret photography room? My assumption is it's being built for shelter from the upcoming storm, but that's never been totally confirmed. If it's possible for Max to travel through time with whatever is physically on her, does that mean she could potentially time travel with another person if she were holding on to them? Why are these cigarettes considered Victoria's? We never see her smoke. We never see any sign of her smoking habit in her room. What's going on with Miss Hoyter, the English AP teacher who Max notes is on leave due to severe depression? We don't only see her mentioned here, but also see her mentioned in Principal Wells' office as having dealt with some of Nathan's outbursts in her classroom. What are the consequences of saving or not saving Lisa? Max's name is not on any of the darkroom folders, so I take it from that she was never intended to be a target. Well, so far. And if that's the case, why not? She's naive, innocent, she's an art student, and she admires Mr. Jefferson. If innocence is why the girls are chosen, would Max not be above Victoria in that sense? We also don't see many other girls' names who equally admire Mr. Jefferson and would be considered innocent themselves, so I'm feeling like we're missing the key factor in how and why the girls are chosen. Why is Nathan's jacket found in the darkroom depending on player choices? It seems suspension is what leads to this, but why? I may have forgotten some things. As I mentioned in the previous part to this video, it's been a minute since I've played Life is Strange all the way through, so please let me know if I've missed anything or any questions you need answered in episode 5 in the comments, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.